But now, just to bring this conference to a conclusion, I'd like to welcome back the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal, Sir Rich Knighton.
Thanks very much, Susanna. Is Greg joining me as well? Come on stage, Greg. I want everybody to see your shoes.
You have no idea how long it took me to try and find a pair of flip-flops.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it falls to me just to say a few thank yous, but I do just want to reflect for a moment on some of what we've just heard and Johnny's final statements about thinking. I don't think I've been to a conference in all of my time in the service, whatever colour of cloth that's run it, where we've gone from Newtonian physics, quantum technology, Thucydides, and then loads of internet pictures of squirrels, cats, and parrots. And really what I want to say is that actually the range and breadth, but also the depth of the conversation is the best that I have known in my time as chief, but certainly actually over many, many years. And that is because of the hard work that went into preparing for the conference. And so I want to say a particular thank you, Greg, to the Air and Space Power Association for putting on the conference today, for educating us, for organising us and pulling together what was a really genuinely brilliant and very slick process. I also, though, want to say thank you to one person in particular, which is Group Captain Paul Sanger-Davies. So Paul is our Director of Defence Studies. His last day in the job is tomorrow, and that's not because the conference didn't go well, just to be clear. This is his fourth conference. And so, Paul, I just want to say on behalf of everybody, you've absolutely nailed it. So thank you so much. There's a massive amount of work that goes on in the background to make this all come together. So for my air staff team, thank you for everything you've done. Greg, I've said thank you to the Air and Space Power Association for everything you've done. To those who've spoken and those who've answered questions, that really does add to the intellectual level of the debate. And what I've tried to do with the conference over the last couple of years is focus us on the reason why we exist, which is to be ready to fly and fight. But to expose ourselves to different ideas and try to evolve and develop that thinking in order to find a way to deal with some of the threats that we've talked about over the last couple of days. But my final thank you goes to all of you in the room for being part of this. To industry, for your sponsorship and your support and taking my challenge, so far, pretty well. I'm sure I'll get a chest poking at Ret'd and Farnborough. But for being engaged and involved, for coming, giving up your time to be here, because as I said in my speech, it's what we say that matters, but also what we do and what we do together that matters more than anything else. So thank you all very much indeed for being part of the conference. I look forward to seeing many of you at the Royal International Air Tattoo, Fairford and Farnborough next week. But for now, thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Sir Rich. So I can give you all sorts of advice, as you well know, but when you've done 5 days at Farnborough, after 3 days at Ret'd and 2 days here, and you've got sore feet, come and have a chat with me, all right? I know, because I've done that. I don't want to add too much to what Rich has just said, because he's, as ever, eloquently covered all the major points. But I fundamentally believe we're at an inflection point. Now, if you leave this room today and you don't think we're at an inflection point, either we failed or you didn't listen, because change is coming and we need to be ready and we need to think very carefully about how we get there. The Minister gave us plenty of clues here for the UK, but I think we've all got enough clues here that we can't just carry on business as usual. So that's the one takeaway. I'll echo exactly what Rich said in terms of the quality of the speakers. Thank you so much. Without you, the conference is nothing, but also from the audience for your engagement, both here and virtually, because obviously the richness of the conference is based on that. For those that I may have offended by some of my comments, some of it's deliberate, because I want to antagonize, I want to create some debate, but I think the more we challenge each other, the better we will be for it. I also want to make a special thanks for all our international visitors. You is what makes this conference so special, coming from so many parts of the world, adding your input, whether it's here on the stage or whether it's just by being here and giving us your alliance and your friendship. So thank you all for coming, and safe journey home when it comes. The IET have been with us now for quite a few years, and Martin and Cecile will be somewhere in the background and may be able to hear us on the speakers. But thank you to both of them and the entire team at the IET who have looked after us so brilliantly, so thank you to them. And Rich, thank you to you and the Royal Air Force. Paul, I echo, we've been working with you now for a few years. Thank you, wish you all the best. I know you're going to move on to even greater challenges, but good luck with those. And to John Shields, sat at the other end of the queue there, is the man taking over. So looking forward to working with you, John, and your entire team, who have been brilliant as ever. Outside, we've got another support team. We've had London UAS here and others, and other people in light blue uniform who've made this function and work, and have got plenty more work to do at the weekend, so thank you to them. The SLT, who've been ever present and a vital part of the engagement, but also to the RAF Police and the Met Police, who have been relatively quiet and kept us relatively quiet in here, thank goodness. They've been looking after our security, doing it brilliantly, as only the Brits will do, understated as ever. And finally, Sir Rich, to you. This is your conference. Without you and without your people, this would not happen, so thank you to you and your team. Finally, last but not least, to my Air and Space Power Association team, not many of them there, tucked in at the back, Carol, Debbie, Kate, Kerry, Catherine and Clive, and the girls behind the counter. Thank you to all of you. You've been absolutely instrumental in keeping this going. And that leaves me with one final farewell. Some of you will be going to Riyadh and to Farnborough, as obviously is not unusual at the end of this. I wish you a safe journey, and I look forward to seeing you next year. There is a Defence Space Conference. We're holding it here in London with General Paul Tebman. There you go. I knew that was coming up. 24th and 25th September. So if you really want a little bit more depth space, or maybe some more Greek philosophy, just come along and join us. Safe journey. Thank you. And best wishes from us, and see you next year.